Hello, welcome back to my channel. I am going to be doing a grocery haul video later on this week, and I just sat down to start my menu planning, writing out my menu and going through my house to see what all we need and what we don't need, and I thought I would show you what we're doing. Okay, so this is my master list. I shop at 3 different stores, and this is my master Costco list. And so essentially I have typed in all the things I would typically buy at Costco. And then what we do before it's time to grocery shop is we just go through the house, the pantry, the refrigerators, and cross off anything that we don't need. Oh, say hi. Everybody's eating lunch. And so I also have a master HEB list. For my Texas friends, you know exactly what HEB is, but that is our local main grocery store in Texas. And so I also have a master list, and that's just broken down into categories. And so once I create my menu, I just go in and write the things that I needed. As you can see, I've gotten this one started. I still have some work to do, but I am in the process of working on it. So what I will do at this point is I will write down my meal ideas. I do plan for breakfast, lunch, and dinner because I only want to shop once, and so I make sure that I purchase everything I need for 2 weeks for these meals. Now keep in mind, I do sometimes go back after 1 week to maybe fill in with produce, sometimes milk and bread. So generally I do shop for the whole 2 weeks, getting everything that I need. And so at this point, I will fill out my menu and I will show you when it's all done. Here is my finished menu. It only took me a few minutes to fill this in. I have a couple of master lists that just have different lunches and dinners, and we pretty much eat the same, maybe 5 or 6 things for breakfast. And so it makes it pretty easy to fill in. And I'll just point out a couple of things here. And so my shopping day is going to be Thursday, and so Wednesday leading up to it, on our previous menu, we have leftovers for dinner, and so our goal is to always clear things out that need to be eaten, and so we try to do that on Wednesday. And then on Thursday, sometimes I fill in breakfast and lunch, and sometimes I don't, because again, I can always go through the refrigerators and the pantry and find something to rummage up for breakfast and for lunch. And so basically on Wednesday, I will be thinking about Thursday and just kind of look through and see what we have. And if we have a lot of eggs over, well then eggs left over, then I would just scramble up some eggs. Or if we had leftover cereal, just whatever we have. And then same goes for lunch. Typically we might have some bread left over that needs to be used up, and so we can just throw together some sandwiches. On occasion, we sometimes might pick up something for lunch, but I try not to do that because as you can see, my shopping days, we always have pizza and salad. And so I go to Costco and I buy their take and bake pizzas, and that just makes it simple for my shopping day dinner because I am shopping pretty much all day long. And so it's really nice to come home and just throw some pizzas in the oven and whip up some salad, and that's pretty much what we have every shopping day, which is every other Thursday. And so then we just kind of fill in, you know, every family has their staple meals, and so your meals may not look anything like my meals, but we all do the best we can to feed our family, and so this is what I have. So FFY, this means fend for yourself. So the reason I have that on Sunday is because we go to church Sunday morning, and our big meal on Sunday is right after church. And so our kids are involved in Awana. I've mentioned that in another video. And so by the time they get home from Awana, it's pretty late at night, and we just kind of rummage for whatever we have. Sometimes there are leftovers from previous meals, or they can make themselves a sandwich, but we just keep it pretty simple. And then as you can see, here we are on Wednesday the 20th, and that will bring us back to our leftovers. Always the goal, trying to clear out things that we have so we don't have to throw food away. We just try to clear things out, and that gives us plenty of space to restock our pantry and our refrigerator. I want to spend a few minutes just talking about why we menu plan and the importance of menu planning. So I think for us, the main reason is that it saves us money. We spend about between $1,200 and $1,400 a month. And so I shop, as I've mentioned before, I shop twice a month. And so that breaks down to between $600 and $650 every 2 weeks. I could totally be a once a month shopper if I actually had the pantry space. I just don't have the pantry space. I do have 2 refrigerators and 2 freezers. I do a lot of freezer cooking, and I have a nice big freezer, but our pantry is tiny. And so that kind of limits us in a really, really big shopping trip. But it really does save you money. So that's the first reason. The second reason is you're just not getting in your car and running back and forth. And, you know, we moms are busy people, and you may not be a mom but have a very busy work schedule, and having to think about, oh, what are we gonna have for dinner tonight? That consumes a lot of energy. And so when you take the time to meal plan, it just becomes a no-brainer. And when you shop for everything that is on your menu, then it's a no-brainer also, because you have whatever you need to throw together whatever you need. And on that note, I wanted to mention that while we do plan out meals according to certain days, we interchange those all the time. We may have something complicated on a particular day, a meal that might be more complicated, and we've gotten busy that day and think, oh, we just don't have time to actually make A, B, or C. And so we just look on the menu and change it out. And so that's the beauty of having everything that you need in your home, because you can easily change out meals, or if you're just not in the mood to make something a little bit more fancy, you can decide on something simple that day. So that is a big reason. And then I think finally, we are a big family. We have 11 children, and 9 of the children still live at home. And then our oldest daughter only lives about 10 minutes away. And so she and her family come over often. And so we are feeding a lot of people. It would be difficult to just do this on the fly. And so to ensure that my family gets fed nutritious meals and good meals, it's just something you have to do. And so if you're not meal planning, I would highly encourage you to give it a try. Maybe start for a week at a time so it's not overwhelming. Make those master lists, because once you make those lists on your computer, all you do is just print them off and just fill in where you need it filled in. And just for fun, I'll go ahead and link an old post. I used to be a blogger. I'll link an old post that I wrote up years ago that contained our old menu planning. And so you might find that that is more simple for your situation, but I'll go ahead and link that in the comments below. I wanted to mention here that I also shop at Walmart. The night before I go to Costco, I put in my Walmart grocery order online for pickup. And then as soon as I'm done with Costco, I run on my way home. I stop at Walmart, pick up my groceries, come home, unload Costco and Walmart, and then I turn around and head back to H-E-B. The reason I shop at 3 different stores is because there's just things that I prefer to buy at one store, and then other things that I prefer to buy at another store. Costco, of course, is where we buy a lot of our bulk items. And then I tend to buy maybe our canned goods and just pretty much everything else that I need except for meat and produce mostly. And so at H-E-B, I just prefer to buy the produce, which is typically a better selection, and then the meat prices by far are less expensive at H-E-B. And so I've just kind of learned over the years where I could save money and in what areas pertaining to food. And so it sounds like a lot of work, but it is a lot of work. But that is our system, and that's how I feed my family. And so I look forward to coming back with the grocery haul. I'm back. It is actually the next day, and I was just sitting here putting in my online Walmart grocery order. And I thought I would just clarify a couple of things that I mentioned in earlier clips. The first one is I said that we spent between $1,200 and $1,400 a month. What I meant was between $1,200 and $1,300 a month. And so every 2 weeks we spend anywhere between $600 and $650. On a rare occasion, we will go over that $1,400 mark a month. But that is only if we've run out of everything and we have to restock on a lot of items. So generally we stay between $1,200 and $1,300 a month. And so let me show you what I'm doing. Okay, I wanted to show you what I meant by the whole Walmart HEB thing. That may have been a little bit confusing, but so I print out my HEB list, and it's actually an HEB and a Walmart list. I just find it easier to do it this way rather than make a completely separate Walmart list, because our menu changes every 2 weeks, and we may have some of the same meals on the menu, but a lot of them are different. And so let me show you what I mean. So here's our our HEB list, and I just added /Walmart. So what I have done here, I will show you, is I have started working on my Walmart grocery order, and for the most part it is complete. And so as you can see, I've only spent about $67, and that is mostly canned goods. And I had mentioned that I like to get produce at HEB. I did get a few things here. I've just learned, again, what things I prefer at Walmart and what things I prefer at HEB. And so I did get a few produce items, but a lot of it is maybe like the canned goods and the dry goods. And so everything that I put in my Walmart order, I just crossed off. So now, after I go to Costco and pick up my Walmart order and I head back to HEB, as you can see, there are very few items left on this list. And so getting the bulk of the items at Walmart really helps to save time, but there just are those things that I prefer to go to HEB for. And so I don't mind running back. It doesn't take me that long. And the breakdown typically ends up being I spend around $400 at Costco. Sometimes it's lower than that, around $130 at HEB. And then as you can see, about $70 at Walmart. This is pretty typical. I hope that clarifies my menu planning and shopping process. If you happen to have a Walmart grocery pickup service in your area and you haven't tried it yet, I would highly recommend that you give it a try. And if you like this video, please give it a thumbs up, and don't forget to subscribe. Bye.